I've always been a unique person, you know what I mean? Sort of laid back in a way, but very adamant and very passionate about what I believe. I think a lot of times that sort of throws people off because they don't expect me to have the mindset or the process of thought that I do. And so when you come in to watch my channel, you may hear a myriad of thoughts and ideas that could be different from others. What I want you to do is just sit back, like, share, and subscribe. To receive instant notification each time I upload, please hit the subscribe button and the bell notification.
Helping you along the way. Helping you to make it through another day. Yeah, yeah. Everything you need to know that you never knew, that you need to know. Lockhart perspective.
Hello, and good morning, good afternoon to those that it's applicable to. Good evening. This is a really hard show for me. It really is, and I think it's a hard show because I've made a couple of decisions, um, specifically because of the title. Um, I think that it's important to say that as we're connected in this world that we're in, we find out information all the time. And this one particular issue has been very concerning for me because when we look in our lives and we find truth is something that cannot be disputed, right? There are some truths that we have in our own personal lives. There are truths that we know of others' lives. And those truths allow us to make our decisions and to decide what we want for ourselves as we go along, right? So today we're going to be looking at what do you do with it when truth comes to you? What is your decision? What are your decisions? How do you function when truth is brought to you? Do you continue to go along with what you know is not true anymore? Or do you then turn around and say, I see this and I choose not to deal with it altogether. And so I'm going to take my energy and focus it elsewhere. What do you do with truth? That's the question. So today we are going to look at a couple of topics. The first thing I want to do is I want to do a little bit of an introductory to what we just got through mentioning, and I'm going to read this to you. All right. So as we were just talking about truth, at some point, everyone is a victim of a lie. Whether we've been dealt a lie by a spouse, a partner who's caught out in a fake excuse, or, the head of a global banking firm, everybody has had somebody lie to them at one point or another. In the case of the global banker who's stolen millions from investors, the horrible feeling of distrust is the same. Our faith is shattered, and the next time around, we find it a little harder to trust. And I think everybody can attest to that. Now, the story that I'm reading comes from Psychology Today, and I'll be putting a link to this story down below in the description. But this article is citing a gentleman by the name of Paul Ekman, who is an emotional expert. He goes on to say that a lie involves two factors: the intent and lack of notification of the other person. In other words, liars make a deliberate choice to fabricate the truth and not let others know they are doing this. There are lies and then there's lies, according to psychologist Bella DiPaolo. And some people will tell white lies to avoid hurting people or hurting other people's feelings. And I know that, I made the joke about it the last time I did the story about, the danger of lying or whatnot. We have it here on the Lockhart Perspective. We did a show about that. And how, a woman will set herself up and ask her husband, do I look fat in this dress? And the husband will go, no, you look just fine. Well, that's the white lie, right? That's the white lie that he doesn't want to get involved in telling her something because he knows it'll hurt her feeling, and then it'll also put him in a little bit of hot water, so he just avoids it altogether. But that's the little white lie to avoid hurting someone or to avoid any conflict. That's twofold for the smart guy. Now, often these white lies backfire. As we found out, we look worse than we would have by just telling the truth. Now, white lies can also build on themselves, leading to bigger and bigger lies that people tell to cover up the small ones by telling a lie. Eventually, you can suffer from building up a false version of reality that increasingly distances us from our real selves. After repeatedly lying about the same thing, we may even come to believe that it's true. And we've seen those cases. And, for those who have taken different psychology classes, you'll find that there are people who will see us understand a lie when they're young, and then it gets told over and over again, and they literally then will begin to create visuals to go on with the lie that was not true. Now, it seems that we constantly hear about some pop celebrity or athlete who's caught in a lie, but too often the net suspicion does form around a politician. Most recently, and the story was written back in 2012, so you may remember the story that they are about to reference here. It says, most recently, Paul Ryan, the 2012 Republican nominee for vice president, claimed to have completed a marathon in just under 3 hours. And it wasn't long before Runner's World magazine reported that Ryan had once run a marathon, but that his time was just over 4 hours. Now, we have come to expect politicians to lie on the campaign trail, but not on their runner's trail, it says. The fact that politicians lie so much now that we need a pants on fire rating to determine just how far off they are in their claims and counterclaims. I received a story 2 times. Actually, the third time was this morning by a very close colleague. Sent me the same exact story. Now, when I got the story the first time, let me just back up. Last year, when I saw this incident and I spoke about it, I knew something wasn't right. And I knew that it was something to come. And then this year, the issue came up again. And when the issue came up again this time, I said, oh, then I wasn't tripping last year when I felt this wasn't right, that something was up. So the other morning, I opened up my inbox and I see this situation, and then I open it again the next, and then I saw it again, actually later that day. And then today, while preparing for this show, I got the information again. And so, because I've decided in my life that I will not be a promulgator of lies, or once I find out something that I will just, abstain from it and just let everybody else believe, I can't do that. So, what are you talking about, Felicia? Please get to it. Let's just get to it. Here's what I want to talk about right here. I received it, and when I did, I just thought to myself, wow, this is not nice. All right, right there. So this was a wonderful event that was held, and it was held in 2000. Actually, it was hosted in 2021, but I do know that there are 2 other dates. There's like 2017, and then there's 2018, but there was a wonderful conference that was convened and held, and this particular conference was dealing with these things right here, right? So that everybody knows, right? So this is what it was dealing with. And so the importance is knowing that, well, folks must care about you, because they care about you so much that they're holding these types of events for you, so that way they can figure out how to mitigate these things, how to how to eradicate you from having to deal with these unbelievable problems. So once I saw this and I read this, it made me a little concerned, a lot more than a little. And I'm blowing this up really big so that you guys can see it, right? Well, here it is. This was illustrated in the exercise scenario and localized these words right here with a genetically engineered form of that. Okay? That was a scenario. And the scenario was done and it was created. And they wanted to let you find out exactly what would be going on. This was the scenario of how it would look if it had to be talked about and discussed, right? And this was the year that they look forward to it happening as far as them giving the example of it. All right. So this is just all of this is what if. Every bit of this is a what if scenario. So let's go to the next slide. So this is all of the folks that were there they were all a part of this great think tank, and they were all a part of this great think tank with you and me in mind, right? They wanted to make sure that you knew, okay, because it's all out there. Okay, this isn't some secret place that I've got this information. All right, so they're just sharing with you who's a part of it and all that good stuff. All right, so once I know this, do I keep bringing you the topic? Do I share things like this with you right here? Let me show you. Do I now that I see that and now that I know that, as a responsible journalist and as somebody who is responsible in doing what I do I continue? Heavens forbid. No. So do I bring these things to you? Because I know that there's a lot of people that say, well, you know what, you deal with low hanging fruit and you deal with da 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 da, because I deal with recalls and stuff like that. So let's look at this. Do we talk about this? Let me find it. Let me get this. Oh, right there. Do we talk about this? Do I bring that to you? Do I bring that to you? Would you feel comfortable if I brought that to you? If we just kept talking about it? If we used all of our, God-given energy to talk about that, would you like that? Would you like me to continue to do that? And it's just a question. Should we just keep talking about this? Do we? I don't know. So much information is so readily available now. So much information is just readily available. Dozens of individuals. Do we talk about that? Or instead, do we now switch gears, which is where we are going, which is what we will be doing, okay? This is what we will be doing. Why? Because we knew a lot of truth in between 16. Let's give it some examples. For the longest time, for 30 years, you've known truth. You've known the truth. And every time somebody brings it to you, what do you do to the family members? No, that's not this, or no, that's not that. Or you may meet a friend that you hadn't seen in a while. Maybe you guys are having coffee or whatever. And then well, no, that's not this, or no, that's not that. And then you just go on ahead and listen to more. You absorb more of the untruths, so that way what you now can do is just to dispel them. But meanwhile, you've absorbed all of it. And faith comes by hearing, and continuously hearing and continuously hearing. And then it goes in here, which is the heart, which is your soulless realm, which is your will, which is now what comes out of you. Why? Because what is in the heart in abundance now comes out here. And now it's reverberating according to the word in the universe. And it just goes and goes and goes. And those words can't ever come back. But words have life, right? We all know that. So now you're constantly, even though you say you know the truth, now you're just constantly adding to it. Here's truth right here for you. Here's truth. This right here is truth. Because when you realize that there are so many things that you are being distracted while looking at it, this is the truth right here. Let me give it to you. Right there. That's the truth. Right there. That's America. Right there. See that? That's truth right there. That's truth right there. And even if they took a picture and set this person there, and she's just an actor, That's still truth. Why? Because you can walk up and down any major artery in any major city and you're going to see that. 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 You're going to see veterans like that. Okay? You're going to see that's truth. Hey, there's some truth. What do you know? Let's talk about a way to fix it. How do we do it? She's tripping today. She's on one. No, I'm letting you know that I will no longer be an oracle for that. I will no longer be an oracle for that. When I see and I know, I will not promulgate it. I will not have it. Count it to me. I will not. I just won't. So that's truth. More truth for us is here. This is the reality that you've got people saying, I'm hungry, please help. God bless you. You need to go, sweetie pie, because you're too tiny to be in the screen. Okay? I can't have you in the screen. All right? That's truth. I need food. Look at that. There you go. That's the neighborhood that we're in. And this United States, that's our neighborhood. Even if that neighborhood is 2,000 miles away in California, or it's around the corner, or at the Skid Row in your local community, and it's not necessarily in your house, I'm sure that you know somebody that's hungry. Yep. I'm sure you know somebody that's hungry. So if that's not your truth and you don't know anybody with that, well, let's go on to look at another truth that is being ignored. That is where we need to put our energy, to making sure that people understand this. If you see this, now these are statistics, right? And stats and numbers, we know they can be fudged. We know that. Well, we just saw the guy who said that he did X, Y, or Z in 3 hours or less, and they said that he did something in, a totally different amount of time. But let's look at this. These are the hunger statistics. All right? These are the hunger statistics. A lot of people don't want to hear this. No, they want to hear the next best gossip. These are the things that are true. 12% of the population in the United States struggle with hunger. That's about 41 million people. And there are 38 million Americans that struggle with poverty. Households with children that are headed by single women have the highest rate of food insecurity. As well, I'm going to add that in this day and age right now, there are husbands who cannot afford to feed their families. He has to deal with he has to weigh between feeding them and housing them. And so he and his wife are struggling to figure it out. But this is America. Okay? 16.7% of all children do not know where their next meal is coming from. 22 million children rely on school meals, on schools for their meals. That's what they're doing. So some kids can't miss school, because if they miss school, they're not going to eat. And so therefore, there are places like here in Alabama and parts of Georgia where if they're out of school, the Department of Agriculture or whomever it is that's funding it, the local city, the local town, they're feeding the kids at the school. Come on, bring Bobby or Tommy down on here. Bring them down here and let's feed them. These are the things and these are the energies where we as Americans should be focused. No matter what goes on around us, these are the areas that our focus need to be. Why? Because it is apparent that with our energy that we put into any circumstance, it comes to fruition. Where we have been collectively putting our energy, if we look at our track record, we see that it comes to fruition. So if we put our focus and our energy on fixing this in our own neighborhood, yeah. Because if we can't, then we should just be quiet. Period. These are the things that the powers or the bad guys or the Pleiadians or the entities or the Elites or the whomever don't want us to look at, even though it exists, right? Now, we do a lot of recalls here, and that's because, again, things can be fudged, right? But I think it's better that you know and that you're aware, Because inasmuch as some things might be fudged, inside of a lot of what we think are lies, there are truths. And so, you know, gee whiz, I would not like for you to go and grab, say, for example, some peanut butter. When you're thinking, well, you know what, all the proteins are messed up. All the meat, all the chicken, all the beef, they're all messed up. Let me just go grab some peanut butter. And we've all seen it just recently. It's quite exhausting, but we've seen it. So let's take a look at that. If you have all the children that are hungry and you think to yourself, well, I know that I can afford this because this is pretty inexpensive and it still counts as a protein, right? Yeah, it does. It counts as a protein. And we'll just go on ahead and we'll just eat that instead. Several Jif peanut butter products recalled over potential salmonella. Potential salmonella. Somebody will say, well, that's just a tactic to get you into fear. Well, it might be. It just might be. But the fact is that while we're worrying about all the other stuff, these could be things that are coming in that we have to deal with our families, with our friends, with our loved ones. So what do we do with truth? What do we do when we know truth? Do we know truth and then walk around like a, oh yeah, you can sit right there. Let me have that jar. Let me have the jar. So do we walk around with truth and then now we become like a, somebody who has been brainwashed by their captor? Do we walk around like that? Thank you, baby boy. Do we walk around like that? Walk around like we're just so into what our captor has done, we're just going to push it and just talk about it all the more? No, we do not. And I will not. Okay. So if you guys just saw what I put up, you know that what you're seeing, of course, based on what you know in your gut, isn't true. So what am I encouraging you to do? To stop talking about it and watch it go away. Stop talking about it and watch it go away. Stop talking about it. Don't give it legs. Don't give it life. Don't give it feet. Don't give it a space in your being. Don't do it. Stop talking about it. Shake your head at them. Think, oh, how sad they are that they have to stoop to such levels, that they have to stoop to such lengths. Stop talking about it. Because death and life are in the power of your tongue. And here is the funny part about that. Since we know that we are repulsed by lies, if you don't promulgate them, if you don't buy into them, and if you don't even go around telling about that piece, you won't have to worry about them getting wings and growing bigger. Why? Because that didn't work. Why didn't it work? Why aren't they afraid? Why aren't they scared? You guys, please hit that like button. And if you got $2, you better help your girl. Because I'm telling you right now, I already see where this is headed for me. All right, I already know. But you know what? When my sister left here last year, from 2017 all the way ramping up to when she finally left, all she said was, keep getting the truth out, keep getting the truth out, keep getting the truth out. I do it my way, she did it her way. But what I'm here to tell you right now is this here is truth. The truth is, don't allow yourself to be used. Don't allow your personal being to be used. Don't allow it. Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and it doesn't matter whether you are a Christian, whether you are a Buddhist, whether you are whoever you are, it doesn't matter. Why? Because you see researchers have on a low level done stories where they said, hey, we had a person and they were really sick and they talked about it constantly about how good and well they were. Next thing you know, they came back and they were well. I had somebody that I just recently spoke to, and they told me that they said, I don't receive that. Hadn't spoken to my friend girl in a long time. And what did she say? She said she had not. She told the doctors, well, I don't receive that. And she's not some big miracle faith person. She's not even into church. She's not even into the Bible. But what she did is she said, I refused it. That's making noise. It's really distracting. She said, I refused it. And I didn't believe it. And she said, the next surgeon I saw said, wow, normally when people have this or that done to their body, this happens. And I've never seen this before because she refused it. So what am I telling you? There must be some truth to death and life and the power of the tongue. There must be some truth to what you'll have, what you'll say. You have what you think about. Oh, maybe we have collectively figured out a way to move all of this out of the way because it didn't work. So maybe there is some truth to no weapon formed against us shall prosper. Why? Because if we don't allow it to come in here and we don't allow it to come out of here and we are a collective, it ain't gonna work. So that got me really, really, really got me. When I saw it come the first time, and then I saw it come the second time, and then even before the show came on, I'm getting it again via text message. So, what you do with truth when you find it is you stare it right in the face and you figure that you're not going to be used to tell the opposite of that. You're not going to be used to share the opposite of that. Now, irresponsibility would be to receive those truths 3 times and then to continue to talk about it. Oh, they said blah. Oh, they said blah. Oh, they said this. Oh, they said that. And we know what BLAH means. We know what that means. You keep saying it seems like Beetlejuice 3 times. Okay, it's like Beetlejuice 3 times. Words are spells. The writing was never meant for you and me. All these different languages that make up the English language, you don't know what you're saying half the time. So it's better for us to have our mind set on what's right, what's wholesome, what's good, instead of rock and Stockholm syndrome, believing everything the captor says. While you are a sojourner here, you do not repeat what the captor says. So, with that in mind, if I can validate that something is not true, or that something has been fashioned or formed to prosper against you, the viewer, I will not be used in that manner. I don't care how many people talk about its truth or its non-truth. By giving it life, I'm part of the problem instead of the solution. So with that, I wanted to let you know that what you do with truth is you hold it close to you and you turn away from the lie. You turn away from the opposite and you just move on. That's all. That's what you do. You just move on. You find it and you just move on. Okay? And loving truth is something that we are supposed to be. We're supposed to be lovers of truth. And when you love the truth, you don't have anything to do with the lie. You just don't. You just don't, right? You just say, hey, you know what? I know about that. I understand that. But then you raise up a little bit higher. And this is how you grow in life. This is how you come up a little higher, come up a little higher, come up a little higher until you don't even feel the stuff that's going on around you. I have a godmother, and she's amazing, not affected by nothing. She's in her 70s. She looks like she's 50. She's not affected by nothing because she's mindful and she guards. She guards herself really well, really well. So I'm encouraging all of us to take a page out of her book and try it. Okay. Before we leave, I want to hug everybody. I want to say hello. I know there's going to be a large amount of people who are probably going to turn off at this point, and that's fine, and I understand it. As long as you have shared this out, and as long as you have hit the like button so that we know, and then if you can come back later and make a comment, I would so appreciate it. If there are any ads that you might see and you're interested and you want to watch it, you can. But there's definitely something to be said about truth and about what it really is and what it isn't. What we saw on the screen today are examples of a couple of different things. But the one thing that I'll say is everybody has driven down the street and has seen some of those things at one point in your life or another. Or you've seen somebody pushing a shopping cart and not understanding that not only is that person pushing that cart, but that person is pushing their memories. That person is pushing any love affair they've ever had. They're pushing their grandchild or their child. They're pushing pictures and photos. They're pushing clothing. They're pushing their favorite animal picture, their favorite plush toy from when they were 5. They're pushing. They're pushing. And so the compassion that it takes to realize that if it wasn't for Yah's grace, it could be you, is the compassion that I'm asking for to sow into that in your own community. Sow into that so that you can change what's around you, because you are a powerful, powerful being. So much so that before Yahweh shall let, what he say? Greater works than these shall you do. Why? Because I go to be with my Father, with our Father. He said, you got greater works. You can change some stuff. That's the reason why they have to keep feeding you pablum of lies. They have to keep inserting the lies because they know how powerful you are. And if they can control this by making you ingest all of the lies, then they know that everything around you is going to be a hot mess. Why? Because 1 can chase 1,000, 2 can chase 10. These are principles that no matter who rocks them, they work. No matter who rocks them, they work. So let me go ahead and say hello to all of you. Let me switch this out because this is not breaking news. I'm going to switch out my avatar and say, hey, oh, there we go. All right, say hi to all of y'all. Wow, y'all been busy. My God, who is this up here showing out like this? Is this pretty lady? Hello, thank you, pretty lady, for that beautiful offering of love. Sharon Marie, I love you so much, precious. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Wow, thank you. Oh, what a blessing it is. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's say hello to some folks here. Let's say hello. What do we got going on here? I'm sorry, Maureen Olson, about Mama, but I'm believing and trusting that you will tell me that Mama was living a good life while she was here and had made her election sure, and that Mama is with a good host. How about that? I want to say hey to Amy Duran. How are you? How are you, Amy Duran? Hello, Maureen Olson. Oh, yes, Maureen. Maureen, I'm going to just keep you lifted up, sister. I understand how that is. Trust me. Watchful and alert. How are you? Watchful and alert. It's good to see you. SCDHL. It's good to see you as well. Deb Woods. Hello. How are you doing? Oz, what's going on? What is going on? Leaf Desi. I just love whenever I see that thumbnail because it is so adorbs. I just love it. And Mike, how you doing today? It's good to see you. It's good to see you. Sarah Brown, what's going on, lady? How you doing today? Hey, Hal, you have the most catchy comments in the in the chat. I just love your comments in the chat. I just love them. Let's see what else we have here. Who else do we have? Robert, how are you doing, Robert? And Joy Trujillo, it's good to see you. His namesake 777 justified. It is the wisdom of God to conceal a thing, the honor of kings to search it out. That's some good stuff right there. Live in Missouri's outdoor. How you doing? If you still in Missouri, I was just thinking recently that I do need to go out there. I was talking about fishing just the other day. You know, I love to fish, but I ain't been in so long. But I was thinking, man, I would love to go out there. And I said it once before, if you remember. I really want to go, but they had the best fishing. Jimmy, what's going on? What's going on? That's how you do it, Jimmy. That's what you do. You do it. You do it. And then after that, you don't dig back in it again. Hey, what's going on there, Derek? It's good to see you. Rachel Van Ziel, it's great to see you. Vincent Brown Scott, hey, hey now, how are you? It's good to see you as well. I hope that you all have an exceptional week here. Marty Lauderdale, my mods are in the house. Hello, all of my mods. I want to thank you guys for all that you guys do. I just want to thank you guys for helping to keep our room clean and love on everybody when I can't see them. I appreciate you guys for doing that. Life's good. Hey, how's it going? It's good to see you. Great to see you. Great to be seen, right? Michael, hello, how are you? Michael Quasar, is that how you say that? Or is it Quasar? Hello, it's good to see you. Good to see you. Well, it looks like I'm R. Jones. I can't miss you. I can't miss R. Jones. I can't miss R. Jones. Let's see who else we got. David Bentley. So great to see you, my brother. Great to see you, my brother. Yes, yes, yes. Let's see. I think that's about it. I'm scrolling and scrolling. You guys got a lot of comments. Black Spring with Autumn. How you doing? How are you? It's good to see you, sis. Really good to see you. Okay, I think that does do it for me. All right, you guys. I don't see anybody else that I have not hugged on. I think I've hugged on everybody who is Inger Norman. Hey, how you doing? A Baker, how are you? How are you? Kyle Solis, how are you? Pepe. How you doing? How are you doing, Pepe? Pepe. I love it. Tab B, how are you? Well, I better keep scrolling because as I scroll, I'm missing more of my loved ones here, and I don't want to miss you guys. Let's see. For those of you who are not able to put anything in the chat and say hello, I'm going to greet you guys too right now because I know sometimes you're driving, and if you're like me and you're in a city or a community where you ain't allowed to drive and talk, or allowed to have yourself being allowed to drive and have your cell phone, I'm gonna say hey to you. All righty. All right. Hello, Lababs. How are you doing? Gary Gallagher, what's going on? TBT, how you doing? It's good to see you, TBT. It's good. John Adams, what's going on with you? Ronnie Man, Shabbat Shalom, Yasharal. Hey, how you doing today, brother? How are you doing today? It's good to see you. I love you. Yep, that's my brother. Ronnie Man is the reason why I have all of my excellent music, the backdrops to all of my commercials and all of my videos. When you hear music, for the most part, it is a Ronnie Man production. Okay, and my whole entire whenever you hear my theme song, that's Ronnie Man singing. That's Ronnie Man, period. Okay, it's a man thing. Gary Gallagher says, how does Black Lives Matter feel now that George Floyd's BS has been debunked? We know that the interlink with the skull and that. You know what? I don't even know. And you know where I'm getting to right now? I'm just getting to the point where I'm just rocking just telling the truth about stuff and not having anything to do with all of that, stuff that I know is casting spells and the nefarious pieces of it. We really do have to remember what the word tells us. We are the salt of the earth. And if the salt how does the salt lose its savor and it loses the savor by surrounding itself with a lot of stuff. It's a conduit. You just absorb all of the stuff, absorb all of the negative, absorb all of the bad constantly and continuously. And that's all you then begin to put out. Now you are a part of everything that's negative and bad. And so the way that I want to do it, I'm going to keep that up because I sure appreciate you for that. I sure enough am. Thank you. Thank you, Sharon Marie, pretty lady. But when you begin to start to absorb all of that, absorb all of that stuff, that is then what you begin to put out. Now, let me tell you something else. You know, there's a lot of people that know that if you use, say, for example, you take a potato and put it in a soup that has too much salt, well, that salt will go right into that potato. Conversely, if you take something that has too much salt in it and you put it in a small concentration of a fluid, that fluid will then begin to have all the salt. What am I telling you? What I'm telling you is what you bring into yourself and what you take and put out constantly, it's going to be the same thing. So you may as well take in the truth. Take in the truth. Take y'all's word and chew that. Take y'all's word and chew that. Say that constantly. Say that or don't say nothing. Say that or don't say nothing. Say that or don't say nothing. Why? Because once we are aware of who we are and we allow ourselves to be used in that fashion, then we are no longer who we think we are, but now we are a part of another camp altogether. Think about that. I want to thank each and every one of you guys for being with me today. I want to say that I appreciate y'all. And if there's anybody that I've missed here, please, as usual, please count it to my head and not my heart. I'm trying to see if I missed anyone. Who is this here? Okay. I love you too, sweet soul sister. All of my soul sisters, I love y'all. High Voltage, how you doing today? I didn't see you. How you doing? Know what you say? Yes, you did. You saw my name up there earlier. Well, you know, I don't even remember the time. Okay. All right. I think I have hit everybody, but I want you guys to remember what we always say. Moment of truth. How you doing? What we always say. And Deb Woods will tell you this too. Deb Woods will also tell you guys where you want to go. When you guys go down below, inside of the description, for those of you who are not already subscribed to the Quasi Backup channel, which is actually my channel that deals with the word, and that is and deals with positive stuff. The word, it deals with everything that's good, right? But you're gonna find a lot of videos there when you go into the playlist that probably answer a few questions or may challenge some of the things that you know, or maybe you can add something to it. But you'll go into some of those playlists and there's some really good solid biblical things that have been taught by Ronnie.d.Mann, that have been taught by Lee Hill, that have been taught by myself, again, that you can add to, pull away from, or whatever. We'd love to have you over there on the Lockhart Perspective. The link is down below in the description, and if it isn't, the name is the Lockhart Perspective. I think I did put it there, so it should be there for you. But the Lockhart Perspective is our other channel. P. James, how are you today? And you'll be able to go over there and just hang out with us, okay? If you are watching this on the replay and you want to know how you, as well as all those that have given, can be a blessing to this channel and have us stay here with you, you can definitely go on ahead and hit that super thanks. Super thanks actually gives you this little explosion. When you put your comment in the box and you put like $1 or whatever, it'll go whoo and give you like all kinds of explosion stuff or whatever. That would be a way to help us, as well as watching all of the ads if it's something that interests you. Listen, folks, I want you guys to remember what we always say here on this channel, and that is that man shall not live by bread alone, but by every single word that comes out of the mouth of the Most High. I want you guys to take care of yourselves, and then I want you to take care of everybody else around you. And then I want you, most of all, until we see each other again, please continue to be blessed. To receive instant notification each time I upload, please hit the subscribe button and the bell notification.
Lockhart Perspective. Helping